Hello.
Hello.
We are being joined today by my partner because I kind of figured we'd walk through December and January's media pages and have a little discussion over those. Most of it will be just me watching and me telling you, well, things that I've watched and me telling you what it's about. And there's a couple that we have watched together.
Yeah.
So, starting with January.
You mean December?
December. Starting with December. I watched The Conjuring at the beginning of December. This is the last movie in the Conjuring series. It was okay. It's not a Conjuring movie necessarily. It's an Ed and Lorraine Warren movie.
There's not as much focus on like ghosts and spiritual stuff then?
No, not at all. There's literally so the other movies they go through and they kind of hem and haw. They do a little like phasmophobia thing over like what kind of ghost is this? And in this movie, they go into the house and then they leave, and then Vera Farmiga is like, so there's 3 ghosts.
Like, we were trolling you the last few movies. We knew the whole time.
So, it's a setup for their kids their daughter and the son-in-law to take over the business, the ghost hunting, ghost exorcising business.
Okay.
Which I'm not mad about.
So it's like the end of this era, and they're starting a new era with the daughter and her husband?
Yeah, I'm not mad about it, because I would like not to see Ed and Lorraine Warren anymore.
Are these, the kid and her husband, are they also like based on real people?
I don't think so. I know they had a son in real life, but they have a daughter in the movies. I don't know. And then I watched Shelby Oaks. It was not to my liking. It's about this woman who, her sister disappears, and she's kind of just looking for her. So it's weird. The first quarter of the movie was shot in documentary style, and then it switches over to like a movie, like a regular movie format.
So is it like a true crime in the first part documentary?
Kind of, where they have like the talking head, like, oh, she was this and that, and and then it switches over to a regular movie.
Interesting.
Which I thought was, I guess, a mistake, because after that there was nothing really interesting about the movie.
So you liked it as the true crime documentary style more?
Like mockumentary style, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they should have just kept that format. And then I watched Weapons, which I thought was great. It was a great movie. It's an allegory to alcoholism, from what I understand. Good movie. Good watch. And then Organize the Refrigerator by Cook With Me Honey Jiru. This is why we now have vacuum sealed Tupperware.
Which are great.
And why I bought like a pack of 100 green onions.
Sadly, I had to toss just a couple of those. They're starting to go a bit slimy in there.
Really?
So I had to call it a bit earlier today.
Oh my gosh. Did you vacuum it up?
Yes, I'm vacuuming it up.
Okay. Because the vacuuming is supposed to make it so that it doesn't... You gotta make sure that they're not wet when they go into the container.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they've been there almost a whole month.
Yeah, and they've kept perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And then I watched a video by Cooper Osinski about how everyone's home looks exactly the same now.
Not ours.
No, well, I don't like white walls, so we just recently painted... I say we, but you. You just recently painted this room peach.
Yes.
Which has really brightened up the room.
Yeah, especially in the mornings. I love it in the mornings.
I like it in the evenings, too, because it gives a nice, like, cave-like serenity to it.
We all just want our own caves.
And then I watched this video by Jet Pens where they had Hideaki Sakuma-san in the video. He's the guy who made the Jibun Techo notebook. And he had a section about empty days where it says, "I hope you think that emptiness is a more productive, in a more productive way," because some in the whole journaling thing, like if you have days that are empty, it feels like a waste. It feels like you wasted it. It feels like you're not using your journal to its peak capacity because you have empty days. And he's basically saying, like, maybe you were busy or
You're just enjoying life.
you felt fulfilled enough that you didn't have time to write in your planner, which I thought was nice.
But still buy our next planner.
I mean, the Jiban Techo hasn't changed in a while, so it's kind of, it's kind of like the Hobonichi. The Hobonichi looks the same basically every year, so they figured it out.
Why fix what isn't broken?
Yeah. And then I watched The Astronaut, which was, it was okay. I'm not a big sci-fi person. So this is about an Kate Mara. She comes back from her space mission. They set her up in a house to recover, and they're like running tests on her.
Okay.
And half of the movie is her like waking up confused and then walking around the house and the forest around the house confused.
Okay.
Spoiler. At the end of this movie, we find out that she's an alien.
Did they not run any tests on her like before she went on her space mission to like figure this out?
Well, no, yes. So they know that she's an alien.
Okay.
So they set her up in the house because I think that they had an inkling that the aliens were going to come back for her.
Okay. So they put her there to be under surveillance for when the aliens
Pretty
come.
much, yeah.
Okay.
And then the other movie I watched that same day was Abraham's Boys, a Dracula story. I still not sure about this movie. It's this family who lives somewhere, like in the middle of nowhere type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like farmland, middle of nowhere-ish.
Okay.
And yeah, and so the mom gets like really, really sick. Have you read Dracula?
No, I have not.
Okay. So she gets sick, and then eventually spoiler, eventually she dies. And the father kind of forces the two boys into learning how to fight. It's vampires. It's about, quote unquote, about vampires, but there's no real vampires in this movie.
Interesting. So it's all in his head?
Kind of. I think it's supposed to say it's supposed to be saying something about the obsession to, obsessively believing in something, because you're trying to deny a thing that's actually happened, because this thing that this belief you have is an excuse that you can control. So because he thinks that it's vampires, that like if it's a vampire, that means
there's something I can do.
There's something I can do. I can kill them, like that.
Like if it's a disease or whatever, you just in
you
denial,
just
so you
can't.
have no power.
You can't do anything about it. So this is that, and there's with the kids, it's like the loss of innocence because he's teaching them to kill people, basically, and still, it was a very, very slow paced movie. Still unsure if they were effective in what they were trying to say. Yeah. And then I watched Anniversary. I came into this movie thinking that it was going to be like a one person takes down an entire family of rich people thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was not that. It was a political thriller. It's our boy Dylan O'Brien. He brings home Phoebe Dynevor, his girlfriend, and she's got some ideals. She writes a book about how the U.S. should be like a one-party system kind of thing, and then eventually like the ideology spreads and people buy into it, and the events that happen are, you know, the family like ends up. I think a few of them end up dying. I think all of them. No,
It's the like sort of civil war almost.
kind. It's like what happened. Like it. Yeah. Basically, not a civil war, but essentially, like shit starts to happen. It's very relevant.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, because the change is what they call the ideology. It's very authoritarianism, very dictatorship type.
Gotcha.
So very interesting. The girlfriend Phoebe, Dynevor is, I wasn't too impressed with her acting in Bridgerton, but here I think she was phenomenal.
Do you think she just had better direction on this one, or she fit the role better, or?
I don't know. There's something more to her here. And then I had an interesting happen, and an interesting thing happen. I'm glad I took a screenshot of this comment because it was a comment on a content creator's video about how is it okay for artists to use AI?
Okay.
For me personally, that's a no. I don't think so. I don't think it's okay at all. But I wanted to have a bit of conversation about how a lot of the AI talk right now is very black and white of like use it, don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only like you either when you use it, you either use it completely, and when you don't use it, you have to like not use it completely.
Yeah, there's no gray in between.
There's no nuance to it, and I think there isn't enough really talk about how we're supposed to be using it and understanding what exactly it is. Because at the end of the day, like AI is a summation of all of the things that we have put out into the internet. And should artists use it? No. There was a question in there about like should art be hard work? So the video is now unlisted because they got pushback over like because her opinion was akin. It's basically like, yeah, because it makes like it helps make the process efficient. Why shouldn't we use it if it helps? If other industries are able to optimize their work, then why would that not help an artist? Is kind of I think along the thing that the opinion that she was expressing, which I think there's some falsehood there because for art specifically, it's hurting other people. That's basically it all boils down to it's hurting other people, and there were questions there about like should art be hard work then? Yes, no, maybe define what hard means. And the last thing is like, should art be good? Which
good is also very subjective and
which is subjective, but like in the conversation around AI, like this good equal like for me, like this good equals human because that's the thing with AI art is like it can make something that
looks good,
beautiful, but is it
morally and ethically good?
I mean, no, it's not.
No.
But is it good? Like, does it look good? And I know people say like there's an uncanny valleyness to it, and I think people are struggling to think about art producing only slop. Because there are people who also think that human beings are like they're struggling to think about human beings as being inherently good, which I'm on the spectrum of thinking that human beings are inherently good. So it's easy for me to wrap my head around, like, AI just makes slop, and for something to be good, there needs to be human touch to it.
To me, this feels like that quote from Jurassic Park of like, all you thought about was could you? You didn't stop to think about should you.
Yeah. And then I guess pivoting for something a little lighter. They're from our attention span. They had kind of a preview of these two planners, which I like the layout of. It's like one side over here has the time blocked from like it's only from like 8 to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be super useful for me, but that's a next year thing. I have a whole system right now,
so they have a whole year to improve.
But I thought that was very interesting because I only really time block for my work. So, and then some notes on Michelle B's video about 19 ways to make life easier. One of the favorite ones I have that we implement now is cleaning on weekdays, not on weekends.
Yeah.
And
just, I don't know, it helps just having 1 or 2 days a week. You just spend 30 minutes, however long, cleaning, and then your weekend just feel more.
Your weekends are free.
Yeah.
And then I like going through the comments on YouTube videos. I know this is is it a hot take? Is it controversial? I find gems in YouTube comments. I don't know if it's just the journaling space that's a little more wholesome. I know people have impressions that YouTube comments are cesspools.
Yeah.
But again, I think of humans as good people.
Yeah.
So,
you'll find what you're looking for then.
So on a Tiny Tiger Co. video, there was this one comment that I really liked was from CC Says, and CC says that one of the reasons that they keep a journal is because it reminds them of this quote, and this quote is like, every season of my life will eventually change into the next one. And I thought that was a very good reminder that nothing in life is permanent. It's a good reminder. It's also terrifying. The next thing I watched was Hayop. In English, it's You Animal, the Nimfa Dimaano story. It's about this cat, and she's a department store worker.
Okay.
And she's got this boyfriend who's a dog, who they're not like, they live paycheck to paycheck, and she's sick of it. And she meets this other dog who is rich, hella rich, and they have an affair.
Okay.
And because of that, so her and her boyfriend ends up breaking up, and then she, spoiler, ends up getting pregnant, and she tries to go back to the rich dog, but
it's like, nah.
well, no, he's open to it, but
okay.
But like, he's a player. That's the thing. So when she like goes to him, he's got another girl, like, and he's like, oh hey, like, you can just share, and and there's like some it's real. It's too real. And I'm not. I flip flop between like liking this movie and thinking it was okay, because I'm not entirely sure why they needed to be animals. I think they did the animal thing because they were trying to put a degree of separation.
They needed it to be less real.
To make it less real.
Was it good animation at least?
Oh, it was phenomenal. It was great. The animation was awesome. But the story was definitely too real. There was nothing. It's not like Zootopia has, like, the metaphor is translated to real life. But when you have a story like this, where I don't really know how you're supposed to translate
Like, there was nothing that was really changed by making them animals than if they were humans.
Yeah, there was nothing changed. Like, there was no, like, she could have very well be a bunny, which she has a friend who gets together with her ex-boyfriend at the end. And she could have, like, the main character could have been a bunny, and her friend could have been the cat.
And it would have changed nothing.
And, yeah, it would have changed nothing. So while I thought the animation was beautiful and incredible, I think about the story and I go like, I'm not entirely sure if they connected.
Yeah.
And then I just have like ink videos that I really liked and added to my wish list. And then I watched All Her Fault. It was engaging. Like I felt like every episode was like I couldn't really like look away kind of thing. They had some very interesting casting decisions though. The first was Dakota Fanning. I'm not sure why Dakota Fanning. Because she didn't have a major role really, other than she hired the nanny that then ended up causing the issues. But I don't know why it needed to be Dakota Fanning.
What kinds of issues are we talking about?
Oh, so the show is you have Sarah Snook and she has a son, and the son disappears.
Okay.
Like she's like, aren't you? She calls the mom group and is like, oh, like isn't my little boy with you? Like is he on a play date? And they're like, no, he's not here. And so the little boy disappears, is kidnapped somewhere, and then partway through they get him back, and they're still they're figuring out like who took him, like what's the deal.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily understand why Dakota Fanning needed to be Dakota Fanning. And then the other questionable decision I felt like they did was casting Jake Lacey as the husband of Sarah Snook, because the moment he walked into frame, I was like, it's done. The mystery is over. Like he it's him. He is the problem. It's him. The guy is typecast, I think.
As the villain.
He has such a villain look about him that like it was over. The mystery for me was over.
You gotta have a movie where they just bring all the people who are typecast as villains and put them in, and then you don't know who the real villain is.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be awesome. And then, there was actually another video here that I think everyone should watch. It's by Extranet Shaquille. I'm tired of listening to Nerds and Dweebs, which is basically how it's so difficult if you're someone who's kind of just looking around for some like advice or a review on a thing. Like let's say you're buying a new keyboard. You just need a keyboard that works. But if you look at reviews and tech people, they're specialists, so they're going to be hypercritical and hyper what do you call it? They're going to be so granular about the things that they need that it's not going to apply to. So
they're gonna be like, this keyboard, it makes clicks that are above my like recommended decibel level.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not going to help a beginner kind of thing.
Yeah.
He has a quote there where it's like, so many people who are good at something forget how to talk to beginners, which I thought was an excellent quote, especially for me who in my work I mentor a lot of people. And it keeps, it's good to stay grounded within like the, everyone had to start somewhere, and it's not a good thing to put these hyper critical expectations on something when they're just starting out. The side video where the Trigon came from, which is now in my possession. And then some other videos from other awesome content creators.
And you have your blank days for Christmas.
My blank days because Christmas happened and we didn't do anything.
We just ate.
We just ate. And then the awkward space. Let me just adjust the lighting again because it's starting to get dark. The awkward space between Christmas and New Year where we watched a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
So one of them was The Midnight Club. I thought it was great. What did you think?
I liked it. I liked the casting, first of all. I think the characters were pretty well cast, and I liked the different stories they tell at the Midnight Club. I think they were well personalized, each of them.
Yeah, I really, really like this director's work because this is the same director of House Usher, which we're currently watching, which is not currently in the media log because we're not done. Also did Bly Manor and Haunting of Hill House.
Gotcha.
The only thing that we didn't like is the main character.
Yeah, at the ending, to me it felt like they rushed too much to have like some real world thing outside of these stories, and they didn't develop the character enough like outside of the stories to get there.
I'm sure she's supposed to be a parallel to the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be like what does desperation lead you to do? But I don't think they handled it right.
Yeah.
I don't think they handled it well, and I don't know if this got canceled like partway through or something, but the ending felt very like they kind of rushed it.
Yeah.
To wrap it up. So the next thing was The Woman in Cabin 10, which I know you didn't like.
No, this gave me just so much secondhand embarrassment because they just keep gaslighting the poor lady.
You have not watched a lot of the blank in blank type movies.
If that's how they are,
that's how most of them are.
Then I think they're not going to be enjoyable for me as a whole.
It's all just like gaslighting and this woman's crazy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of unreliable narrators. That's another thing I don't like.
Yeah, so it was okay. Keira Knightley was alright. It was okay. They made some like there's a bit of suspension in disbelief, suspension of belief, that has to happen because they're doing stuff that I don't feel like real people would do. So, yeah, that's that. And then Fear Street Prom Queen, which I have a bias towards because I love the Fear Street franchise.
The Fear Street franchise is excellent. Good. This particular video, I felt like there's a bit in the middle to me where the plot just didn't make sense. So the end is the main character is trying to be prom queen, right? And there's the like bad clique, baddie clique leader, and it's her, all of her friends, and the main character are the people.
The plastics.
The people on the ballot for prom queen.
You don't know what I mean when I say that, do you?
Like the Barbie
just from Mean Girls.
It's been so long since I've watched Mean Girls.
Okay,
Gotta rewatch that. The last time I watched Mean Girls was grade 8. Anyway, so the part about this that didn't make sense to me is she wanted the baddie leader wanted to be prom queen, right? And spoilers, at the end, her parents come and like kill all of the other people so that she can be prom queen, right? And the baddie leader's in on it. If she just wanted to be prom queen that bad, why didn't she just tell all the other girls like, no, don't enter? Rather than, I'm just gonna kill them instead.
Don't go into the running to become prom queen.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm just gonna kill you.
I don't know. They just like killing, I guess.
I mean, I guess.
There's a scene at the end of the movie, again, spoilers, where it's hinting at their family is also part of the cult that's
from the other trilogy.
From the other trilogy, so they're tying in the deal with the devil thing in this movie as well. I just don't think they spent enough time on it.
Yeah.
So it kind of just became a standard slasher movie.
Yeah.
And then the other movie we watched was 1922, which I liked because I had read the book Full Dark No Stars for book club a month prior. So I it was nice seeing what I had read translated into a movie, although um it was too fast. The movie was both really slow paced and too fast at the same time. It hit the major plot points way too quickly.
Yeah, it felt like to me like the first maybe 20, 30 minutes before he, spoilers, kills the wife. That felt really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the next hour felt really slow. It felt like that wasn't balanced well to me.
Yeah, so in the book, it's a what do you call it? It's a collection of
anthology.
An anthology. In the book, he spends a lot more time on hemming and hawing about are we going to kill the mom? A lot more time, and then there's also a lot more time spent on his relationship with his son devolving, so that when they eventually run away, it makes more sense. In the movie, it just felt like they just up and ran away randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was December. I think the big thing in December was I was going to stop scoring media, because especially here, I was going through it and it made no sense to me in relation to each other. This was a 7 out of 10, but this was an 8 out of 10. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I still score mine personally, but there is a point where I feel you just have to not compare things. Because if you're like, oh, this movie was a 9 out of 10, and then later you find something that's better, but it's not a 10 out of 10, does that push everything down? And kind of as you build into your media library, I think you just kind of have to, take it as it is and know that, it's just how you were at that point in time.
Yeah. I think I'll, when I translate this into capacities, I might tag them instead of score them. And then January hit, and in the beginning of January, we watched and finished Haunted Hotel.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Everyone should watch this. This is the best. It is, immediately shot up to one of my favorites. Favorite cartoons, favorite series, really. It was so good. I'm surprised that it came from the makers of
Rick
and Morty, because I don't vibe with Rick and Morty. But this one, so good.
Season 2 is coming out some point this year to be determined.
So good. It has my now favorite cartoon character of all time, Abaddon.
He is the best.
He's the best. He's the best. Everyone needs to watch this. And then the next thing we watched was A Haunting in Venice. It's a Hercule Poirot movie. I'm a sucker for a Poirot movie. I don't know what to say. Although this one, Haunting in Venice, we've seen The Orient Express,
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile, and then this one. This one is the best one of that series, I think.
I feel like you're kind of biased towards that as well, because this one's more
spooky.
So I think there's a bit of bias there as well for you.
Okay, let's be real. The Orient Express, again, spoiler, but The Orient Express, you didn't like the ending to that one.
I hate
because
the ending
the
of it.
Culprit
is everyone.
He literally has that scene where he's like, the culprit is everyone. And then Death on the Nile, the acting was a little clunky.
Yeah.
And this one, the acting was great. The cinematography was great.
Yeah.
So I think they figured it out with this one. They figured out how to present it, and also how to tell the story, and how to visually represent the story as well. So I think they figured it out here.
Is there another one coming out this year?
I hope so. I hope they make more. And then the next thing, so work had started up, so I wanted a background watch, and I picked Pretty Hard Cases again. So I'd actually seen this before, and I just wanted something in the background to watch. But
what's its thing? What makes it different?
So I like police procedurals. And the thing that makes this different is they don't deal with homicide.
Okay.
They are drugs and guns and gangs. So
Okay.
that makes them a little different. It's also the main character is she's very anxious. So I relate to her a lot, and it starts off like you start off knowing the characters first before
Gotcha.
the police procedural part that comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that more because when I start to like let's say Criminal Minds or CSI, like once I start to know more about the police people.
You don't like getting into their like interrelationship drama?
No, I don't. I'd rather not. We are losing daylight, so if the lighting changes, I apologize. And then, so I got sucked into the Instagram ads of Dramabox vertical format movies.
Okay.
This one is It's Too Late to Apologize. This movie ends with the ex going, "It's too late to apologize," and it fades out. It's so freaking funny. But basically, it's this mom. She's got the husband and then the daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and the husband and the daughter hate her. I don't know for some reason they hate her, and the daughter has this teacher who teaches her I don't know, and the teacher lives with them for some reason.
Okay.
And the dad is having an emotional affair with her, and so the main character, the main girl's like sick of it, and she's like, I'm gonna write up this divorce form, and then she goes like, can you sign this thing for me? And then the guy's like, yeah, sure, whatever, because that's like, she's so neglected that he's not even gonna look at the thing that she's asking him to sign. And he only looks at this paper 2 minutes before the divorce finalizes. And oh my god, it's so funny. This is so funny. And I got sucked into two more. So this one, so there's buckets of tropes where these fall under, and there's ones where it's like the main character is like the heiress or the daughter of some very wealthy
Mm-hmm.
family, and nobody believes her for some reason.
Okay.
So that's one trope. And another trope is... Oh, let me just adjust the lighting a little bit. And then another trope is the main character marries someone who's like rich and wealthy and whatever, and
Okay.
nobody believes that either.
So you just don't believe women.
Basically. So this one is what is this one? This one is funny because she has like a rival. There's always like a rival person, a rival,
Like love interest?
yeah, a rival love interest who's like completely awful. And so what she does is eventually she like burns down the house. She fakes her death, basically.
Gosh.
And it's great. It's so great. And then this one. So the title of this one is "I Kicked Out My 3 Fiances in My Second Life." It's got like an isekai type title. It's so funny. It's so this is what got me. This is what I was like, okay, I need to stop watching these because it's like my brain is just gonna like implode into itself. So it starts off with the main character getting her throat slit by this girl, and then she randomly like wakes up and she's got like a second lease in life.
Okay.
And
with no explanation why.
With no explanation why. She just like randomly just wakes up and she has a new life. And she's like, in this life, I'm going to finally, I'm going to like not let them abuse me anymore. Because she knows that she's going to end up dying.
Yeah.
And she lives with there's this woman. I don't know where she came from. But there's this woman, and the main character's three brothers all love her, and they're all engaged to her. Like, all three of them are engaged to her.
Okay.
And on the day of their wedding,
Their collective
wedding, the main character is like, all right, peace, I'm out. I'm gonna go marry the mafia boss, who is like her childhood friend kind of thing.
I presume they'd been introduced before, and this just like...
Sorry, not a childhood friend. Like, it's a boy that she knew as a child, and she didn't recognize until like a little later on.
Okay.
But like, how she managed to like contact this mafia boss, or be in connection to, or somehow like is now going to be able to marry this guy. I don't know.
They didn't
nothing
say.
is explained. It's so good. It's so awful and so good at the same time. And then here is just a video about capacities from Nim's archive. Chris at Nim's archive. It convinced me to move to capacities from any type. I used to use any type. It was giving me a lot of trouble, so I'm convinced to use capacities now.
This is just for like tracking stuff?
It's for like archiving database, because I use Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn the light on, because it's gotten quite dark now, and we've still got half of this January still to go through. Okay, so I'm just going to switch over to capacities. I use it as a archiving database systeming. And then another video that had very fun ideas that I thought I could look at, from Isabella at Breathing Yarn. And then there is more videos from creators that are awesome, like off and on and often, about horizontal layout like this, a notebook that was like this.
Okay.
Like the layout went like this instead, but it's the size of this notebook, but it goes this way, which I thought I liked a lot, because I like the idea of a big notebook, but I don't want to carry a big notebook. And then Megan Alms also had the same thing, but like the format of the notebook is vertical like this, but she filled it out this way. So
you'd still have two vertical columns, or she still fills it out that way anyways?
Well, so it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the only weird thing is like you have to fill it out reverse, this way.
Yeah.
People who write
left to right
would find it maybe a little awkward. And then we watched Return to Silent Hill in the cinema.
What a bad movie.
It was bad. It was so bad. It was awful. It was almost disrespectful in how awful it was. A complete misunderstanding and mishandling of the material. I don't want you to watch it, so I'm going to spoil it completely. So for those of you who do know Silent Hill, they had smushed together Mary, Angela, and Laura's character into one person. So at the end of it, they did the Batman thing of like, what's your name? And it's, oh my god, Mary's full name is Mary Angela Laura. Stupid. Completely fucking stupid.
It vaguely felt like someone had once described Silent Hill to them, and then they wrote their script off of that.
Yeah, it was awful. It was so awful. There were like 2 good scenes, but overall it was just awful. And then a video by Book Nook Spirit. They had a cover, so it's a plastic cover like the one here, but it had pockets.
Okay.
And I thought it was really cool, and I was wondering if I were to DIY that, how would that look?
Because these are on the outside or on the inside of the cover?
Outside.
Okay.
And I thought it would be cool if we had like the Instax, the Polaroids.
Prints,
and then you could you could change them out every month. I thought it would be neat.
You could take like one for each week in that month, and then you fill it in.
Yeah, that would be great. maybe heat sealing machine. I don't know, something. I don't know how it would be to DIY, but I thought it was great. That's why it's indexed. And then I watched this music video, Maya Ongaku Maybe Psychic. It's cool. You should listen to it. It's different from like the Japanese pop that I've kind of grown accustomed to listening to. It's got a hypnotic, like refreshing,
more psychedelic kind of feel.
Kind of. I wouldn't call it too psychedelic. There's definitely a hypnotic vibe to it, but there's like a refreshing aspect to it.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain, but it's great. And then I watched randomly. I was just like, I'm gonna watch Penelope, which came at a very interesting, unfortunate time, I guess, because we received news that Catherine O'Hara had passed, and she played the mum in Penelope, and it's very sad. I thought that think that Catherine O'Hara was a phenomenal actress, and it's very sad. The other thing that I watched I thought also was like, I cannot believe this is free, is Juan Luna, Can We Separate the Art from the Man by I'm Carl. I guess Carl from I'm Carl.
Im's their first name.
Mr. I'm Carl. Mr. Carl. First name I'm.
Yes.
So we've seen this when we were back in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. We went to go see this painting.
This giant painting.
The Spolarium. And it's a beautiful painting, and I think you should go watch this. But there's a section about like, I guess I should give you the meat of what it is. So Juan Luna killed his wife.
Okay.
And there's like a quote about like how we think about Juan Luna is less about who he was, but more about who we honor and why. Because he did do a lot for the Filipino people and the recognition of art, Filipino art. The man killed his wife.
Yeah.
Like, the man was not a good man.
No.
And that's the end of January. We still have the 31st left. I have Tokyo Godfathers.
So that's our plan today. That's the
plan for today. To watch, and I think I think the format of this might change a little bit as I go through. I've not done media tracking this way before, so we'll see if I maybe change it up for the rest of the months. Maybe I might go directly digital. We'll see. Okay. Journaling practice is always it's always changing, I think. Yeah.
It should just be whatever meets your need in that moment, right?
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us today. This was fun. We were definitely chasing sunlight here.
Yes.
So this video is going to be different than what my videos typically look like. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you in another video.
Bye.
Bye.